This is probably, for restaurant videography, this is like my favorite piece of the puzzle. Hey guys, James Brooks here. Hope you're doing great. And a lot of people have been asking me, what equipment do I use to take my photos and to take my beautiful slow motion videos in restaurants? So I'm gonna open my camera bag for you guys right now so you can see exactly the equipment that I use when I'm doing a sort of run and gun setup when I'm visiting restaurants. So this set of equipment is very lightweight and relatively low cost. So for those of you who are just wanting to kind of get started when it comes to food photography, food videos, this could be a really good starting point for you. For restaurant shooting on the go, this is perfect. So here is my setup. First of all is this massive LOWEPRO backpack. So this is the 450AW Pro Tactic. Links to everything will be in the description below. It's just the perfect backpack really for getting all of your gear inside. For this setup, it's probably a bit overkill, but I also carry, you know, my laptop and other equipment in here. So this is a great bag if you want an all-round camera bag that is gonna fit everything in it. So next up, this is my reliable camera. Love this thing. This is the CANON M50. It's a mirrorless camera, so as you can see, it's super small, super lightweight. This is perfect for using in restaurants where you want to just throw a camera in your bag, have something small, lightweight, but it packs a punch when it comes to the functionality. If you are kind of familiar with the kind of work I do, you know that I love using high frame rate shots and bringing those kind of like super smooth slow motion shots, and this is perfect because it does shoot at 120 frames a second. There's a couple of drawbacks with that. Number one, it will only shoot at 720p, so it's not full HD when you're shooting 120 frames. And the second drawback is that you can only manually focus when you are shooting at that high frame rate. However, I don't tend to find that to be a problem because one, I'm generally shooting for social media, so you know, most people are looking at this on a phone anyway, so it doesn't need to be full HD in my opinion. And the manual focus, that's not a problem for me. It's good practice for focus pulling. So highly recommend this camera. It's about, I don't know, $500–600 US, something like that. So well worth grabbing yourselves one of these. You know, among the team, we've got a few of these, so it's good stuff. Second, we have the Canon 22mm lens. This is the mirrorless lens, and so this goes perfectly with this camera. What I really love about this is it's pretty wide, and so when you're in a restaurant shooting, you don't have to be that far away from the subject. You can be quite close. So, you know, you don't have to like step away from the table to take photos. You can actually sit there at the table, take photos. You don't have to like stand on a chair to get a high shot. So this is really great. It's great for photo. It's great for video as well. It's just nice and stable for video. So pretty much all of my slow motion content I shoot with this lens. It goes to f2 as well, so it lets in a lot of light. Great for when you're in a dark, dingy restaurant. So highly recommend this as the first lens you get with this camera. Next up, this is an adapter which will allow you to put other Canon lenses on your mirrorless camera. So this is a great thing to have because you can then get lenses like this. This is the Canon 50mm lens, known as the Nifty 50 to many. And this is a great, very inexpensive lens, which I really wanted to be able to shoot with. So got the adapter. These two together, about a couple of $100 US. And you know, you've got a really fantastic setup here. Plus, it means that I can buy all kinds of different lenses and use it on the Canon M50. This is my second lens when it comes to shooting at restaurants. It goes to f1.8, so again, lets in a lot of light and takes just beautiful photos. You get that really sharp focus, plus that really beautiful sort of silky smooth kind of blurry background, which people love. So that's really good. For video, it is less stable. So handheld, that is not going to work very well. So I would recommend having something to stabilize this if you're going to use it for video, which I often do now because it just is a beautiful lens, especially for the price. So I would generally use this JOBY GorillaPod. This is a great piece of kit. It's around about $100 for one of these, but it's, you know, it's perfect. You can just set that down on the counter if you've got your kind of camera and 50mm lens on there. Also, you can wrap it around things. So if you want to put it on a, I don't know, like a staircase or a pole or something like that, you can do that. And because the M50 is quite light, it will sit there comfortably and you can get some nice shots with this. So highly recommend something to stabilize your 50mm lens if you are using it for video. For photography, it's great as it is handheld. So next up, spare batteries. You've obviously got to carry spare batteries. The battery life on the M50 is pretty good, but I definitely wouldn't risk just having one battery with me when I'm going to shoot a restaurant. So I always get the official Canon batteries. I know that there's a lot of cheap alternatives out there, but if you're spending good money on a camera, I think it's worth getting the official batteries so you don't have any problems. So highly recommend the official Canon batteries for that. Next up, SD cards. I've got this awesome SD card holder, which I got from Amazon. We're always burning through SD cards, and we use these SANDISK Extreme Pro. They write at 95 megabytes a second. You want a high speed SD card, so don't skimp on this, especially if you're going to be kind of shooting in RAW or you're going to be shooting high frame rate. You want to be able to write the data quickly, so this is what I'd recommend, the SANDISK Extreme Pro. Next up, this is probably, for restaurant photography, for restaurant videography, this is like my favorite piece of the puzzle. This is an Aperture LED panel light, super small. Here it is, and this was the best purchase I ever made when it comes to this stuff. It has white LEDs and yellow LEDs, so you can adjust the temperature of the light, you can adjust the brightness, and it's all battery powered as well. You just charge it with a USB cable. And honestly, this changed my game. So often in restaurants, it's dark and dingy, and if you're not careful, especially when you're shooting video, you can end up with very grainy footage. And it was a problem I was having quite a lot until I bought this, and this is perfect. So how I deal with restaurant videography is screw this on, and I will literally connect it to the camera, and I'll shoot like this. So if I'm shooting a plate, I want to do like a nice slow motion clip, you know, maybe panning across the plate, I will turn the light on, get it nice and bright, and then you'll get some nice footage, even in the dingiest of restaurants, that is sharp, it's not grainy. So I really highly recommend getting this if you're going to be shooting video in restaurants. Now, talking of power, there's a couple of pieces of equipment that I always carry with me. First off is this huge brick-like power pack. This is just a chargeable power pack that then you can plug USBs in. So obviously I can keep my Aperture LED panel charged. This is a really good piece of equipment to have on you, especially if you're doing, like me, a lot of back-to-back restaurant visits, which does tend to happen. You know, often I'll visit 6 or 7 restaurants in a day. So this is a good piece of equipment to have. Next up, this is going to seem strange to some people, but this is a super important part of my camera bag, and that is having DETTOL antibacterial wipes with me. I mean, they don't necessarily need to be antibacterial. You could just have baby wipes with you or something like that. But this is great to have because often we'll be shooting multiple courses of food and the tables can get messy or dirty, especially if you're, I don't know, picking up shots and things are dropping and splashing. So it's really good to be able to just quickly wipe your table. I mean, obviously some restaurants, they will wipe your table, but better safe than sorry. It's good to have this. And also if you happen to get any, I don't know, like barbecue sauce on your camera equipment or something like that, you've got wipes here to wipe it up, stay clean. So highly recommend having a pack of something like this on you. I'm not always recording audio when I'm out and about, but sometimes I do vlog at restaurants or do reviews. And so I find it really handy to have equipment with me. So I have this Zoom recorder. This is such a handy piece of equipment for recording audio. So this means that I can plug my kind of lav mic into this. I can talk and I don't have to be connected to the camera. So this is a really good piece of equipment. Highly recommend having this in your camera bag. Purple Panda lav mics. It's super inexpensive from Amazon. I think that they're around sort of $20, $25, but they're great. They will plug into a Zoom recorder. Super handy piece of equipment. Highly recommend that one. So that's it. That is my basic restaurant setup. It's super inexpensive. You can probably get all of this gear for under $1,000. I will leave links in the description to all of the different pieces of kit. So if you want to check them out, you can do so. And yeah, guys, if you've got any questions about this gear, please leave them in the comments below. And also, I'd love to know what kind of videos would you like to see from me on this channel. Please leave comments below, let me know what you want to see, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.